We just briefly mentioned Ben Stokes over there. This is going to be a great rivalry. It's going to be a big send-off for him in that sense. So again, how do you approach this when you know that you don't have too many games to go and you know you're leaving? Do you try sometimes too hard to want to finish on a high?
Look, yeah, I'm sure he's been trying, and what surprised me in the last game with Rajasthan was Ben Stokes had that bad last one over. And then he didn't bowl the next game. He played the game. You had a change of captain. So how can a bowler he may have had a bad day, but he's not gone from all to zero. But that's how these teams strategize. They make a plan that you're going to bowl a certain number over. This number is going to be bowled by you. This number is going to be bowled by you. So I'm just presuming here that before they came onto the park, they decided, okay, Ben Stokes not going to bowl. Because how can you not get a single over in? And we're talking about an all-rounder. You go into that auction, you buy him as your marquee player. He plays the first few games as your marquee player. He bowls an important over, and he was bowling your last over in every game. And suddenly from there, he's gone to not a single delivery in the next game. So I don't know what he's thinking. All he must be thinking is, or maybe they want him to get fired up. It could be a plan where you say, okay, let's not give him a single over, and next match he'll come back firing. And so what is being thought in that team is very difficult to understand. With Rajasthan, it's impossible. But Ben Stokes, certainly, he's a player of quality. He's done well in his life. There will be a pride that he has. I'm sure he doesn't want to go home without a performance because he'd want to come back next year.
Which is why, forget coming back next year, which is why if you look at Ben Stokes last year versus this year, he was lethal at times, and a quick comparison already tells you the difference you can see between 2018 and 2019. He got those runs there. He's just not had enough with the bat, and definitely not enough with the ball this time.
Yeah, as Ben Stokes, as Ajay said, he's a guy who's going to be proud about what he performs and what he produces. 16 average, 196 runs, just 8 wickets last year, economy rate. Bowling wise, this time around 6 wickets, economy rate of over 11, and only 104 runs in his 7 outings. He won't be happy with that. He won't. He sets high standards, and as you mentioned, he'll want to put in that last performance more as a reminder to the people that, hey, hold on, this is what I can do. There's been this tournament so far. 2 for 39 in that game against Chennai. Unfortunately, he didn't finish the game for them. If it had been 2 for 37, it would have been a really good outing. 28 with the bat, but no massive scores. The 46 of 26 against Chennai when they played them at their own ground was something that he'll remember. But you normally walk away from an IPL tournament with a kind of player that Ben Stokes is thinking, do you remember that knock or those 3 knocks, or do you remember those 2 bowling performances? There hasn't been anything that's really stood out for him, and that's why he'll be a little bit disappointed. And maybe he's thinking, I'll save them all for the World Cup. But as a South African, I hope not.
Yeah, even when he played for Rising Pune Super Giant, one giant, you could see he was outstanding. He was getting that role to play. He knew his role. He almost enjoyed playing under MSD.
Yeah,
even though MSD technically is not the captain all the time.
And actually was Steve Smith there.
Same time.
And I think he's one of those players, he enjoys being in that limelight. He wants to play those important moments in the game, whether as a batsman, because he's not one who comes in and scores 40 or say 40 ball 60, but he comes in and scores those 20 ball 35, or when you're chasing, he holds the innings together or bowls those important overs. So the key moments, like he said against Chennai, that if he hadn't given those last 2 runs, maybe that would have looked good on that CV, but at the moment it's gone the other way. Mahendra Singh Dhoni last night had a fabulous game, but ended up on a losing side. But when you're doing well and you've had a good run, then it doesn't play negative on your mind. Then it still stays positive and says, okay, next time it'll happen. But I think Ben Stokes probably in that cycle where he's thinking, oh, next time it won't happen again. And that is the cycle that he's probably been on, and maybe that's the reason that they didn't bowl him.
And when you pay that amount of money for a guy, an all-rounder, you're looking for something. You basically, as a management team, you think to yourself, okay, well, if we get him, let's say he's going to get 2 man of the matches, or maybe 3 man of the matches throughout the tournament. And that's what they're looking for. They haven't got it this year round. Next year's obviously another opportunity, but this is his last chance to shine.